Alright, what's up guys? It's One True Shako here, and I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. It's going to be a deck profile on a Yu-Gi-Oh deck. I know I haven't ever posted a Yu-Gi-Oh video on any of my channels, neither my Shako 976 channel or this one. So this is actually for a Cyber Knight something something, a bunch of numbers contest video. It's where I send in a deck video of a pretty original deck. I think this is pretty original. And if I win, I get a deck, not a deck, but a booster box. That's cool. So this is a Resonator deck. Resonators are an archetype used by Jack Atlas in the anime, which I love Jack Atlas because he uses that guy, this guy, Red Dragon Archfiend, and Red Dragon Archfiend is a beast. Yeah. So the Resonators are a archetype of purely tuners, and they are all fiends of different attributes. So here's how it goes. I have two Barrier Resonator. This guy, he's a level 1 tuner. If you have a tuner on your side of the field, you can discard this card from your hand, and he isn't destroyed by battle, and you take no battle damage from battles involving it. So that's pretty cool. This guy, my cat is clawing my leg, and it really hurts. This guy is called Creation Resonator. If you control a face-up level 8 or higher Synchro monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can see how that'd be useful with Red Dragon Archfiend because he's a level 8 dragon Synchro monster, and you can get Red Nova Dragon out pretty easily. And Red Nova Dragon is just totally awesome. There's Dark Resonator. This is actually the first card in the Resonator archetype. Once per turn, this card will be destroyed by battle. It is not destroyed, so that can be really useful if you summon it and you can't special summon anything else, then he can survive a turn, probably. This guy's not as good, that's why there's only one. His Clock Resonator, he's basically like this guy, except he's only not destroyed when he's in defense position. So, but it's also a card effect too, so he can be destroyed by a card effect. But he's not as good. This guy is also not quite as good. His name is Flare Resonator, and the Synchro monster that is used as Synchro blah 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 something something something. The Synchro monster that you summon with this card gains 300 attack permanently, so it's pretty decent. I mean, it can be useful sometimes if you really just need an extra boost, but overall not as useful as any of these. This one I have two Force Resonator. This guy is actually pretty cool, and I have two of them just because he's level 2, which there's no other level 2 tuner monsters in here. You can send this face-up card you control to the graveyard. It's like one face-up monster you control. If that monster attacks during this turn, your opponent cannot activate the effects of any spell, trap, or effect monster cards that target a monster until the end of the damage step. So that's pretty good. I mean, it could be good with like Desynchro or something, which I don't use, but if you use that and you summon your Sacred Material monsters, you can sacrifice this card and get a free, well, not free, but like an attack without having to worry about Mirror Force or things like that. Then I have 3 Marauding Captain. This is one of my favorite tech cards of all time, just because he's kind of underrated. I mean, he's really, really awesome, and he is decently used. But his effect is when you normal summon him, you can special summon one level 4 or lower monster from your hand. Also, your opponent cannot select another warrior type monster you control as an attack target. So if you summon him, you can use his effect to special summon another one of him, and then you activate a lock, which is when your opponent can't attack your monsters. So that is really, really useful. Also, it's good for getting out a bunch of crazy synchro shenanigans. I have one Sangan because you can only use one Sangan. He's pretty obvious. I mean, you get to search with him. It is really, really useful with stuff. I have 3 Reborn Tengu, which he is pretty overused, but he's incredibly useful. That's why he's incredibly overused. I mean, he wouldn't be overused if he wasn't good. He adds stability to any deck, really. It's just a really, really good, solid card. Great for Synchro, great for Xyz, it's just great for everything. Another kind of techie card that I like to run is Cyber Dragon. He's really good because 5 plus 8, 5 plus 3 equals 8, which is the same number of stars Red Dragon Archfiend has. So you special summon him, normal summon a Resonator, most of the Resonator cards actually, and you get a Red Dragon Archfiend. I also run the Tricky for about the same reason. He's just, um, I want to say he's more consistent, but it's a -1, so meh. I run 3 Resonator Call for my spell cards. This card, it's just a really solid card. It's like E emergency call for heroes. Add 1 Resonator monster from your deck to your hand. It's that simple. I mean, if you need a monster, you got a monster. I want 1 Resonator engine just because it's not useful all the time, but when it is, it's decently useful. Select 2 Resonator monsters in your graveyard, add 1 level 4 monster from your deck to your hand, and return the selected Resonator monsters from your graveyard to the deck. So it can be useful if all your Resonators are in the graveyard and you need something. So yeah, it's pretty good. I run Stables, Monster Reborn, Heavy Storm. I won 1 Mystical Space Typhoon just because I don't really like Mystical Space Typhoon that much. I know people are going to hate on me for that, but I just... meh. I think Heavy Storm plus Mystical Space Typhoon is enough. I run 1 1-for-1 because of this guy. He is a lot more useful than he looks. I won 1 Dark Hole, just because it's Dark Hole and it's useful as shit. This card is called Red Dragon Vase. Activate only while you control a face-up Red Dragon Archfiend. Draw 2 cards. Until your opponent's next end phase, you cannot normal or special summon. That seems like it's a really bad thing. Which, it's kind of a bad thing sometimes, but if you really, really need some cards, it's really useful. It's good for draw power, I guess. Pot of Duality. Kind of obvious. I mean, draw power. You need that all the time. Red Carpet. This is a card for Resonators. Activate only if a Dragon-type Synchro monster is on the field. Select 2 Resonator monsters in your graveyard, special summon those monsters. This can be awesome just because it doesn't just have to be Red Dragon Archfiend. It can be Stardust. It can be Black Rose if you didn't nuke. It can not. It can't be Bryonic Dragon of the Ice Barrier because apparently Bryonic Dragon of the Ice Barrier is a Sea Serpent, which sucks. I didn't know that because I'd never really read the card that well. But you can use Orient Dragon. That's kind of why I have Orient Dragon in here. Trishula, which is kind of not as useful just because it's already a level 9. There's not much more you can do with that. But yeah, it can be really, really useful. The rest are pretty much stable. I run Mirror Force, 1 Solemn Judgment, 2 Solemn Warning, 1 Dark Bribe just because I like Dark Bribe. A lot of people don't really like it that much, but I find it quite useful. And then 1 Torrential Tribute, just because obvious reasons. Now for my extra deck, I run 2 Red Dragon Archfiend. He's kind of the main synchro monster of the deck. And then I run 1 Red Nova Dragon. He is the boss monster of the deck, and he is incredibly powerful. This card is awesome. It gains 500 attack for every tuner in your graveyard. I run 10 tuners. Yeah, that's a maximum of 8,500 attack. So, yeah. Also, when your opponent declares an attack, you can select it, then remove this card from play, and negate the attack. So it's kind of like Stardust, just for attacks. I run 1 Stardust, run 1 Lightning Warrior because he's a better level 7 than most level 7s. He is a hell of a lot better than X-Saber Rebellum. I run 1 Black Rose Dragon, just in case I want to nuke shit. Run 1 Bryonic, Orient Dragon. Run Gaianite, Force of the Earth, just because he can get over Stardust, and that's really useful. I run 1 TG Hyper Librarian because...
Sorry about that, guys. My mic just totally crapped out on me. So I think I left off at TG Hyper Librarian. He's just a great card. You know, he's a great synchro monster. He's not quite as useful in this deck because I don't synchro so often, but I do often enough that I get quite a few pluses off of him. I run 1 Catastor because Catastor is awesome, especially against light decks, but you know, it's good against everything except for dark. I run 1 Trishula because it's Trishula, and Trishula is Trishula, so Trishula is awesome. I also run 1 Ally of Justice Field Marshal because I want to have at least one other level 9, because it's so easy to get level 9s because of, like, most of the Resonators level 3, and I get Marauding Captain a lot. So, he's just really useful. He has more attack than Trish, and he has a effect that lasts more than just once. So yeah, I run 2 Xyzs. One is number 17, Leviathan Dragon. good card. I mean, it's not great, but it has a pretty decent effect. I mean, you can get it at 3,000 attack, so that's always good. I've run one number 39 Utopia. It's a really good card. He's actually probably the best main character monster there has ever been. I honestly can't think of anyone that was better. Okay, yeah, Stardust. Then never mind. Stardust is better, I think. Hmm. Which is better? I don't even know. Anywho, I think that's gonna be it for this video. If you enjoyed, leave a like rating. If you didn't, don't tell me why in the comments, I guess. But yeah, Cyber Knight, I hope you choose this video. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, and I will see you guys next time. Yes, I want to leave the page. Oh, come the fuck on. I'm